We're back and we're free from searching for weird stars. Melville. Shit. Melville's yellow, right. That was embarrassing. Whenever someone thinks I'm rude for mixing up names in real life or forgetting people's names, it's like, man, I can't even. I'm always like this. It's always. Can't. Names are hard sometimes. Nope. Roik. Yeah, right. We've almost solved the uncanny valley. Why does this place exist? What was even your goal here?
A long time ago, the Sphinx asked you about my story. You said that our lack of hope is a blessing. But you were wrong. Hope is good, hope is necessary, and hope still exists in this world. But it is not in the flame or in these towers. It lives in the hills and the forests, in the rivers and the seas. You were given a world full of hope, creature of clay. It is yours to protect.
I will do my best.
Then remember what I have told you, and do not lose hope.
They're all saying goodbye now, basically.
So, Melville, what do you make of these beams? Do they seem safe to you?
Nothing is really safe. You could kill yourself with a fork, and I'm sure someone has. But anything can be used safely if you choose to.
I see.
Whee! I had to check. I had to wonder if there was something strange back there. Oop. Oop. I think we did everything now. I said that earlier and then found another terminal, but it was... I think it was hidden alongside that weird giant white symbol, and it was hard to spot then. Yeah. One more zone with 2 stars left. And then I wait another decade for a Talos Principle game. West 3, High Plain.
We're getting closer. I hope Byron is still okay.
Prometheus seemed to think so. Let's hope he's trustworthy.
Byron's been gone for like half the game. Starting to feel bad. I wonder if he's just been with Athena this whole time and not being tortured for hours and hours. Because by the time I get to him, it probably will have been like 8 hours in game. And that's upsetting. Well, this has a certain...
Another remarkable structure. But what can its purpose be?
Actually, I can answer this one. In the files 1K downloaded, there's a design for a launch pad for space vehicles. This is about 90% identical.
Is it functional?
I don't think so, not if the inside is like the other towers.
Wow. Imagine if it worked. Imagine if we could go up there. I mean, the stars, not the top of the tower. Although, that would be cool too.
So she is ultimately going towards space travel, or gesturing at it. This place has a particularly human utopia feel to it, where it's like a human compound, tons of greenery, but it's also notably just a very, not flat, but nearly flat space that's just extremely traversable. Very welcoming for humans to wander around in and so on. And exist and cohabitate. But these things are made a little goofy by me because I've seen couples that have these statues of their hands holding each other, and they have that exact sort of thing where they're like made to look like they're exactly this level of like oxidized and whatnot. So this almost has like live, laugh, love vibes.
What can I do for you, 1K?
What do you think about the choice I made regarding the Somnodrome?
I don't know if sharing the truth so openly was a good choice. It's hard to predict the consequences of such an action.
You're the crier. That's interesting. He's the information sharer. And he's bothered that I shared information, basically. Hello? Puzzle 1. From within. Fans. Jamma. But what is the mechanic here? Or is it time just to combine them all? You think we might think the ending or the stars would be the time to combine them all, though. Fans. Okay. Jam the fan with the thingy. Because I think this makes the gate open. Yep. You can only jam one fan, though, and there's 2 fans. You sneaky bastard. Okay. Yeah, it's specifically on that side, so you can't shoot it from inside this window. The jammer doesn't work on the fans. I was briefly working on a question of like whether or not there's like a solution involving this situation, but I think there is actually. Kind of. Yeah, this sets up a beam that will open this gate and turn on the fans, and if I unjam it, I can then walk past the fans, go back in here, jam it, and then it'll open. There we go. A remote trigger. Got it.
In their notes, Athena and Cornelius called what they were doing the Noema Project. But in 1K's vision, They just called it the machine. Because when you strip away all the fancy rhetoric, that's all it is. It's not a source of meaning or purpose. It's just another machine.
Yeah. Because we know that they created a self-replicating thing that somehow led to creating this entire place. And it sounds like it happened after... It sounds like it happened after Miranda died, and even after Cornelius was gone. That I think they finally finished the machine. Sup, chicken fight? Chicken flight, okay. What is the mechanic? Yeah, that last level didn't introduce a new mechanic. Maybe we're done. What was the last mechanic? So in this quarter of the game, the first one introduced the flying platforms, I guess, that wander around. And then last time we got the activators. That was the newest thing. The flying platforms barely felt like a new I guess they're a new mechanic. They're more of a new mechanic than switches, because the level before that just has like, here's some switches. You activate these switches and it makes the device do the thing that it does. Whoa, a switch. What do you do? Activate this thing? Because if they're both activated, it'll go back and forth. Nope. It does not go back and forth because they don't line up with each other. Alright, well, why do I want them to go up into the air like that? There's the solution. This door probably goes away when we finish it so that I can just get through. And this path has this fan, which seems like you can't sneak around. Weirdly wide fan. What are we trying to do? So there's two barriers, but what are they activated by? Pressing this button, maybe? I can't put these on here because there's no box to make them fly correctly, but also they won't bounce back and forth anyway. There's a no items go in and out barrier here, but it's pointless because you can put them in through this. I guess that makes it so that you can hold them and take them in to there, but why? What is the shape of this level? Oh. Okay. So I guess the puzzle is that this fan is activated by this thing, which is also how you open the door. So you need to stop activating it in order to continue. Nope. I think you just do this to get through the door. Then you use this to knock it over. And now this fan is off. And this puzzle's solved. Okay. For a while there I was looking for a jammer because I was like, why is the obstacle barriers, but the mechanic is fans? Got there though. This place looks massive. The system is full of fragments related to space, says Melville. I've noticed that the Noema system is full of ideas for space travel and colonization. Designs for launch pads and ships, sketches of cities, even an unfinished design for large-scale teleportation between distant planets. An interstellar or even intergalactic civilization of the kind riders like Lane Banks imagined is entirely possible if we want it. Is there even a future? Looks like a lot of people are getting excited about how things are going to change, but all I can see is a lot of repetition of the same mistakes. Ecocide, hubris, self-destruction. Why would anything be different this time? You have to hope, even if it's not rational. So just have faith? Wasn't not having faith the whole point of what Athena experienced with Elohim? And wasn't the stupidity of faith confirmed by this whole founder nonsense? What we need is faith in humanity, not in individuals. Exactly. If we expect individuals to be perfect, they can only disappoint or mislead us. Faith in humanity means believing that we deserve to exist and our problems can be solved. It's a faith by which we can orient ourselves, a direction to follow. It's not an answer to everything, but it makes the journey possible. I suppose that is different than blindly believing in the founder. I'll think about what you said. Thank you. That was helpful. Yeah, the word faith is not the operative thing. Just because a word technically shows up in a different context does not mean that it's like this hypocritical resubscription to the previous idea. This place has a vibe. So lighting this activates the fan. Blows it past the barrier that's currently locked, opens this door. What? What?
The scale of it all is truly breathtaking.
It really is.
But is it a human scale? Or is it so enormous that it can only alienate us? Humans have always been happiest in small communities.
Small town paranoia, isolationism and peasant mentality. Great for burning witches, not so great for personal freedom.
Ever the pessimist?
In the simulation, I found myself thinking how hard it must have been for Alexandra to die without knowing if her sacrifices were worth it. It seemed like a tragic end to an inspiring, meaningful life. But now I realize her whole life must have been a struggle. To maintain that faith in humanity when so many people around her insisted that humans are evil, worthless, when they were so lost in self-hatred that they would call their own species a virus. How did she do it? How did she maintain her faith when they were so determined to hate themselves? So determined to reject every solution, every analysis, every step towards controlling the forces that were causing their problems, when they rejected even the concept of progress itself, and then patted themselves on the back for it as if that was original. When I look at the archives now, all I can see is that their leaders were short-sighted idiots and their intellectuals were unimaginative cowards. All they could offer people was a downward trend. Fewer rights, fewer freedoms, fewer resources for anything that mattered. They must have hated Alexandra and everything she stood for. So how did she have so much faith?
Athena's very frustrated at this point. It stood out to me that Herman said, "Ever the pessimist," but he was the one currently shooting down an idea. He was being a pessimist. So he selectively colors Melville as the pessimist, but also I'm in a state of shock of how bizarrely tiny the third puzzle was. Like, there's just one room where you very obviously put a laser and connect it to these things, and boom, you instantly solve the whole puzzle. It's over. I'm like, what? These are getting really small, though. This is also a tiny room. This almost feels like a... It almost feels like a throwback, like, just kind of difficult brain teaser contradiction laser puzzle from the first game or something. Or maybe you have already solved it in 2 seconds and are confused why 3 was a non-thing and this one's a struggle. But the issue is that, obviously, blue and blue line of sight, easy. Red. So it's wrapped all the way around the wall, so one thing can't connect both of them. You need to use both of them to connect them. The problem being, obviously, that... What? And it shouldn't be possible to simply... Yeah, you can't just like add the beam to it to redirect which way it's going. Because if I could somehow cut off the blue beam from it... Oh, I can, can't I? Do it like this. That's the puzzle. Because then I can walk in here and connect red next. Yeah. I thought there was I definitely, you could hear me on that path a while ago. Oh, just trying to figure out how do I disconnect the blue from it. It's like, oh, well, it's because you never connected in the first place.
Hey, 1K. I wanted to take a moment to talk to you. I know we're all worried about Byron, especially Al, and I don't want to minimize what happened. But now that the mayor's here, I'm afraid they're going to take this and turn it into a reason to bury their head in the sand. Yes, Byron was rash. He wanted to find Athena so badly that it made him blind. But the thing is, he was right. He was completely and utterly right about what this technology could mean to us. I didn't see it at first, but now it couldn't be more clear to me. The theory of everything is the future. And if we reject it, we're condemning ourselves to a slow death.
You're probably right, but I have my reservations.
I get it. I do. I'm not blind to the dangers. But all we do anymore is think about the worst-case scenario. You know, I didn't even realize how much I'd limited my own imagination. How I'd talked myself into just accepting this incredibly poor future we'd been offered. A future where things just keep getting slightly worse every day, and we accept it because we're ashamed of ourselves. Not of something we've done, but just of our existence. Like we're a virus on this planet. Like our humanity is a sin. I'm so tired of it, 1K. I kept my head down. I focused on fixing things. But that's all I ever did. I never improved anything. I never built anything new. And when I imagine going on like this for thousands of years, that's a fate worse than death. It really is. We either live and grow and expand boldly and proudly, or we might as well switch ourselves off.
We'll find a way.
We better, because I don't think I can handle the alternative.
Oh. There's certain brutal forecast, the idea of just having to commit to the capping yourself and then just committing to that indefinitely and sentencing yourself to this flat fate. That said, I think there is just a level of harmony you can strike where maybe expansion doesn't inherently serve another purpose. Although exploring would be cool. But they could definitely be doing better than they were, at the very least. Literally just dooming themselves to just decay and nothing else. Red. The window's open, but at what cost? But at what cost? That's a bit of a problem, isn't it? This extending outward causes it to cause this problem. Okay, but what if we draw this back? Line of sight still works that way. If I do it just right, I might be able to connect that to that. No, maybe not. Unless I can do it from this side, which I can't. But then what was the point of opening this window? Is it that ultimately this still connects to that? Will it survive me taking this off? It did. So close the connection. Now I can finish the loop. And get around here. And now we somehow go even deeper. It's the last bit, but yeah, we need to somehow get this one now. But I think I see what my mistake was, because this line of sight doesn't line up. Gotta get closer to this window so that you can see that and that and that. But this is all about having a series of connections that fix in this way. I've got to deal with the fact that that thing breaks. And then, boop. The Jenga tower does not fall. Yep. There we go. So we're making connections that hold this thing together. But not everything has to stay in the position it was already in. So we get a removable piece. We're creating redundant circuits. It's a metaphor for how we have to be careful as we expand.
I'm not surprised that the founder chose you, 1K. You're very much like her. Inquisitive, intelligent, and dedicated. But remember, intelligence by itself has little value unless it is ethically applied.
That is a reasonable thing to say, but the first part wasn't, because the founder didn't choose me. The founder picked the 1,000 people as an arbitrary limit, just for now, essentially. Was never meant to be an actual the goal, and she did not design me, and she did not meet me. So the closest thing to me being chosen is just the idea that during my ceremony was when the spirit thing showed up. We got the hologram. But she didn't meet me. So don't say it's because we're alike, because she didn't know that. Any similarities we have are purely coincidental. Fox. But at what cost? Okay. Boop, boop. No! No! God, no! Okay, well, that's not very helpful. There's usually more upside to doing that than this. So why is there a fan? What purpose does it serve? An external puzzle? Oops. I broked it. Alright. There's no fan to steal for pressing buttons or anything, but also there's no buttons? There's no buttons. There's no buttons! Yep. This doesn't quite line up, so I can't light this up with this because I can't get it past this barrier. But we shouldn't expect to be able to just solve the whole thing in one moment. But that does raise the question of what the box and fan are for. If flying up here doesn't give me the solution. Oh. Wow, a platform. Wow, I've not seen one of these in a long time. What's it even for? I think the platforms were first introduced all the way back when I was cloning myself. Nope, it's gonna be hard to reach. Zoom. Oh. 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 Okay. It's so I can catch it from the fan. That was a new interaction. That threw me for a moment. It's one of those things where the basics, the game, like, the rules break in a crazy way once you have the ability to move a laser or something while it's connected. Because then you can just take it past things. The theory of everything. I've been around for a long time. If I'd been born a bit earlier, I'd be a first companion. So, I've seen the ups and downs of this city, although in recent years I've kept to myself. Now I'd like to pose a question. I don't have an answer in mind, I'd just really like to hear what everyone thinks. I have no doubt that Athena's theory of everything would change our lives, but do you think that perhaps we're better off not knowing? That perhaps having all these answers would just make the universe boring? The ancient writers showed that knowledge can lead to cynicism. We must maintain the sense of wonder of a child. The theory of everything won't be the end of our journey. It would only be the next step. It would equip us to ask the next set of questions, to explore new possibilities, to discover and create new wonders. To believe that the universe can be understood or described in objective terms is pure scientism. Nothing exists. Even if something exists, nothing can really be known about it. And even if something can somehow be known about it, information about it can't be communicated. And even if it can be communicated, it would not be understood. Truth can be harsh. It's possible that the theory of everything would reveal facts that we'd find hard to deal with. That doesn't mean we should not confront those facts with our own ethical responsibilities. Smilev or Atal, probably, or who would be who I agree with. Let's go with Atal. I agree with Atal. Thank you for your thoughtful comments. And by the way, 1K, thank you for all the hard work you've done for New Jerusalem. Solving all those puzzles is quite a gargantuan endeavor. Okay, well, it sounds patronizing when you put it that way. Wow, very good. You solved so many big puzzles with your giant brain. Given the context of, like, thank you for all you've done for our society. When we're talking about, wow, you sure solved puzzles, buddy. It's just a little goofy at that point. 7. Gateway switch. No. Everything's just barely almost able to get itself out of a thing. This is pointing at this. That's pointing at that. We need red and blue. See, when I point that at that, I can't leave. Oh, but it'll hold itself open now. And this one does have a ladder. Something unnerving about the amount of fizzle we're getting at that moment. I think I need to get it out of here, ultimately. It's not connected to there right now. I think I broke this one too much. But essentially, I don't think I wanted to connect to that many things quite so much yet. But yeah, I believe we're going to do the same trick I did before with the doors. And this door is open. My other goal will be to make it so that door opens. And once I get it out of that room, once I get the pieces out of that room, oh right, no. Okay, so it's still receiving the blue beam. I think I've trapped myself again. So I think we're going to push forward by jamming that door and unjamming that door. I think I need to get it out of there so it's in here at least. I'm getting kind of stuck on this one. Let's see. If I can connect red to red, then I can leave this room. I'm trying to get this jammer out of here because I think I need to take the jammer with me through this sequence. Take the jammer out of here. I think I need to connect red to red. I'm not sure how to do that. So if I connect this between these two and connect disconnect from these ones, it'll still be trapped inside this room because this door is going to close. But with red open, I can then take this out of this room. And then I could jam this and then take that out of that room. Because the problem right now is that whenever I jam that door, I can't physically leave to go get it. But I can't connect these two from here, because the moment I disconnect, this will close. So like I can zap it from here, but this is not self-sustaining because the moment I pick it up, it closes again because the jammer cuts the connection, which I think is how this part of the puzzle is going to work. But I still need to take this out of this room to continue. And I'm not seeing how to do that. And I've once again trapped myself and this door won't open now. It's rough that there's no ladder to get inside. So I was poking at the idea of like, how do you, like, can you connect it to everything at once from inside there? But you can't, because the source lasers create problems. Because if they're both reaching it, then no light, it just stops working correctly at all. Which creates its own concern, because toggling the barrier with this guy over there can toggle whether or not the blue laser's reaching it once it's out here, but it can't toggle whether or not the red laser's reaching it. Gateway switch. There's no other pieces. Easy enough to jam these different spots, but I can't use them. Can't see that one from there either. Yeah, it's feeling pretty stuck. Let's sit through another loading screen. This one has like a clean flow to it, and then I get stuck. Why can't I get out of here? I'm just recreating the same mistakes at this point, but I've just... There's like a flow to it. Like, it just makes sense what to do there. Oh. Because I'm out here while that's jammed, which means it doesn't matter that it doesn't stay that way. I can get out long enough to do that. Okay. Is it based on proximity, I wonder? Like, how do I... That's the first two down, but then it has to become blue? What's the last barrier for? Oh, for the jammer, to make sure I take the jammer through. So you can't use the jammer on any of these doors, because you need the jammer to be available for the last one. But now I've got the next question, which is how... Ah. Both barriers. Okay, new problem. I thought far enough ahead to be like, oh yeah, this is how you toggle between the two colors. And it does work. It opens each gate in an alternating fashion. But how do I then do the maze? Like if I jam it from here, I can't grab it from this side of the wall and move it to the next one. But I can't physically pick it up, because the moment I pick it up, it instantly closes. If I do that, I get in here. Okay. That's what I wasn't considering. Having both lasers active at the same time breaks it. So that's a reset. I was worried that, like, well, how am I gonna make them stop shining on it? Because they can hold its own door open, which means I can then pick up this thing without breaking it, because it's holding its own door open. But then I was like, how do I then do the other one? Won't just unjamming that, make them both permanently open? But no, because the moment both lasers are hitting it, it resets, because it can't do anything when it hits when both are hitting it. And then it's up to me to then manually turn on the other one. So it actually works perfectly. And so on. Okay. Golly gee, I sure am clever.
Have you found any signs of Cornelius? Could he have returned to the island?
Nothing so far. But he knows this place better than any of us, and we have no idea what he's up to.
Only one more normal puzzle to go in the structure as we know it. And then, whatever comes next. But I still need to find the two triangle levels, any terminals, probably a bunker, and 2 stars. And then we get to find out what happens in the leftover game. 8. Photon sail. What the I can't walk on that, right? It looks like a bridge, but it shouldn't work like one. Alright, there's a fan. Shooting over here. Oop! The storage thing's back. This one's a connector. Alright, so that's my destination. And this is not a bridge that works. But the point of this surface is that these devices can't pass through it. So when it's the floor, does that mean I can then use those as a bridge? If I take 2 blocks, for example, and just am alternating their positions the whole time? Whee! Wow, 2 boxes. But why? Well, you can't jump when you're on this thing. You're like in a falling state. Can I jump out of here? Yes. You can't remove this. So, shooting this, connecting this to that makes this fan turn on. Actually, or maybe just opens that gate. I can move this around otherwise, because putting on this button just activates this fan. This does raise the question, though, of, like, if I do manage to replace this, like, swap it out, and because, like, if we don't need the fan anymore, I might need 2 boxes. But if I put that here to take the box out, then how am I gonna get the boxes? I guess I get the boxes out because I'll put one here and stand on it and grab the other one, and then I have 2 boxes. But then for this part, how do I activate this with the boxes to fly up there, but also take both boxes with me? Which seems like what I need to do. And, oop. Ah. Ah. Aha. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. So this can activate this at that point in the puzzle. That's neato. So that's a detachable fan, the other one's not a detachable fan. It's a fan-powered fan. Whoa. But it definitely feels like I essentially need to take the... Oh, if I put it near... If I put it close enough, I can ride this through. Get on this and grab it and put it inside. Now I took it back. And that allows me to grab the fan. So now you can be used there. Is this good enough? Instead of using the fan there, could I use the fan as the platform too? That kind of freaked out, didn't it? Okay, so you can stand on the box. We're good enough. Right, so now I just need to take the fan and use it to over the ledge, swap for the other box. And with the power of auto-aim jumping, I don't have to even worry about falling down. Because when you get those feet prints, you just automatically will jump to that. Which was a feature in the first game. Yeah! toolboxes.
My brain to think like that.
I couldn't either, and then I did. You're just gonna have to step it up, bro. There's like it almost feels like an anti-intellectualism with him. Except he actually really does like to think and discuss stuff. It's just the moment the puzzles come up, he like selectively employs anti-intellectualism and won't just like actually engage with the problem, which is kind of a bummer because I'm like, come on, man, you're fun to talk to otherwise. Why don't you just like try?